Okay, crazy Friday. Had an air conditioner that threw the breaker, and went to hook up gauges to test Superheat. The line felt mildly cold, and maybe I should have left this one alone on a Friday. But anyway, here's how it went, how it turned out. Okay, got a unit not running. It's crazy hot. It's supposed to get a bit of a heat wave. It's probably 107, 108 now, temperature wise. But it's supposed to get a heat wave to 109 by Monday. Maybe the last little heat wave before the summer's actually over. Time will tell. See, contactor is pulled in, but nothing's running. Compressor is way hot. Feels like it's possibly overheated. It's hard to tell because it's so hot out here today. Nothing's running. And look for any burned wiring. Everything looks good on that end. Capacitor, hard start kit. Looks like an original contactor. Actually looks okay. I don't like how that wiring is that much, but so I guess we'll start with the fuses. See our fan blades and all. Change out the fuses. See what happens here. Check the breaker inside, and that wasn't tripped. Fuses. And if this doesn't work out, I'll just go back and grab my multimeter, test it out further. And I can retest the old fuses once I get back. Okay, here goes. See what happens. Started right up. That's good. Oh, fan spinning right direction. Getting nice and cold. That's good. What I was told was that he had messed with the thermostat and knew something wasn't working right once he messed with the thermostat. I think possibly it just started the compressor in an unequalized state. Stay with it for a while and make sure everything gets cold. So far, so good. I'll just wait with it for a while, see how it goes, go from there. Okay, so here I am back at the shop. Got my meter set for continuity. Just going to test those fuses. That one's fine, but that one's bad. Okay, so there we go. Nice and easy. Recovered one of them, and I'll junk this one since that one was bad. Okay. I'll grab my gauges and my refrigerant and get the AC charged up. Just a little bit low. Okay, I didn't find any leaks at the evaporator, but what I'm going to do is, it's just a tiny low on Freon. And so what I'm going to do is take a wet bulb measurement before I go up on the roof and lock that in. That way we can calculate the target superheat. So let's see, what I need to do is scroll through to indoor wet bulb, and I'm going to want to set the indoor wet bulb, so I'm going to hit enter. And I've got my sock here in front of the return, which is the intake for the air conditioner, and we're getting about 80 degrees indoor wet bulb. So I'll go ahead and hit enter, and next I'll go up on the roof and do the outdoor dry bulb, or I can just go outside in somewhat of a shaded area and get the outdoor dry bulb. Maybe I'll do that here. Pull off the T2 clamp probe and enter the thermocouple, and then just take this outside in the shaded area. It's going to be pretty much the same temperature on the roof, so I'm just going to go out back here. Got a major remodel going on this unit. Okay, so here we go. Let our probe adjust here. And showing 98, 99, climbing. Let's see, it's climbing pretty fast. Really, it feels probably about 106 out here. Is that okay? Hit enter. 100.4. Okay. Now I can go up on the roof and okay, made it back up on the roof. Got all my gear, got my refrigerant, my gauges. Time for a little superheat fun. It's actually not too bad. Charge is fairly cool. I'll hook up the gauges and make sure the charge is just a tiny bit off. I can adjust it. Actually, don't really think I have a leak or anything. It actually got pretty cold, so that's good. But since I'm here, got the good gauges. I'll check it according to superheat. Okay, so here's our T2 clamp. Put it on the high side. And here's our T1. Put it on the low side. And it's actually better to set these vertical to get an accurate reading, or as vertical as you can. What happens is if the refrigerant is only on the bottom side of the pipe, then you might not be getting an accurate reading. So set the vertical is the way to go. I've taken some criticism over using these types of gloves, but I'll tell you what, this has been the best kind of gloves for me. 2 pairs of these. The reason is it doesn't absorb moisture. So, and it doesn't transfer the cold a whole lot with 2 pairs. It can actually prevent frostbite because it's not going to absorb the liquid refrigerant into the glove. So it works out as a decent shield. Again, I've taken some criticism on that, but that's my opinion there. Here's the low side. Seems like it's hard to tell with the cicadas around here. And noisy bugs. Those cicadas. But it sounds like we're not leaking there in the valve, so that's good. I brought some new caps just to make sure. These look a little tired, and I'm seeing some debris inside there. Looks like nothing's leaking, so that's good. And make sure both my hand valves up top are off. Got my hat, got my safety glasses, got plenty of drinking water. It's important, wearing sunscreen, important to take cautionary measures in this type of heat. It is very hot. About 107 degrees. So anyway, got both my valves turned off here. And everything's tightened up here. So, look up the low side. See where our pressure's at. Using the quick connects. You always want to use quick connects. And it's showing our pressure at about 67.3. Not too bad. Showing our target superheat here is 36.9. We'll check that in a second here. Well, I'll go ahead and actually check it here. We're showing our superheat is 33 degrees, so we are not very far off here. Go ahead and hook up the high side. Freezing my glove. Not good. Nice, frozen. Oh, it sucks. It wouldn't seal off there. I think I got a bad valve. It's like I won't be using the high side. Oh my gosh, look at it, it just completely froze the gloves. And yet it didn't reach my finger. Wow, that was crazy. It looks like I need a new gauge here on the high side. I don't know why that wouldn't seal, but it wouldn't. Wow. Okay, well, that's the end of that story there. Looks like I'm gonna have to rebuild my gauges. Looks like we're missing, no, the gasket's there. I don't know, it looks like I might need some new hoses there. Wow. Again, very important to wear gloves. You never know what you might run into out there. Hopefully that never happens to you. That is not fun, but show you the gloves did protect my hand, so I didn't get any kind of frostbite. So anyway, if I wasn't low on 3 on the 4, I'm low now, and you know, sometimes you can do everything you can do to prevent refrigerant loss or something happening, but sometimes you never know what you're going to run into, so it's important to be prepared. Anyway, I got a new cap for that high side, making sure my O-ring is in there. I'm going to go ahead and cap it off. On the low side, we're hooked up there. I'm going to go ahead and purge the line. Showing now our PSI is at 50, so we're definitely low. And our superheat has jumped up to 58.9, so we're going to lower that down. We're going to hook up the middle service line, my refrigerant. Run the hose on in. Well, I'm glad I didn't need a trip to the emergency room there. That would have been no fun. Okay, gonna open the line. And now I'm gonna purge. And it's important to purge both sides. What can happen is an air bubble can get trapped in the line. The air contains moisture in it, and when you open the line, it'll bring the air bubble up and over. Same on this side. Once you've hooked it up, you want to purge the line. It's called the de minimis release. It uses the refrigerant to push any air out of the line. That way you don't draw moisture into the line. Now that that's done and ready to charge. This can be done without the high side, though it's a little bit better to hook up the high side, because then you can make sure you have your subcool as well as your superheat, and make sure that there's not something going on the other side. But some scenarios like this, you kind of got to do what you got to do. Still going to test it out well and make sure we get our superheat. Mine's a capillary tube system, so that's checking the superheat is the way to go. Subcool just kind of indicates that we have a good balance. Anyway, I've had no trouble with this unit before. I just had blown the fuses, so I'm pretty sure I'm good. Anyway, I'll take a reading here and see how we're doing. And we're climbing back up. Superheat's still pretty high. So we lost some refrigerant there on that liquid side. But at least no loss of limbs or life. That is the important part. Drink some water to rehydrate here. Such a nice day. About to get a heat wave by Monday. It's supposed to hit 109. Today's about 107. So I guess the heat wave's here. What are you gonna do? I brought my multimeter up so I could check the microfarads on the capacitor. Just figured I'd get it charged first and get this going. I can check the amp draw on the fan motor and the amp draw on the compressor. See what we're running at. Go ahead and drop this down and take a look here. .48 on our superheat. Our PSI is getting back up to where we were before. I usually like to see it about 68 to 70, somewhere in there. But of course, we're going to go by our target superheat. We've got our measurements and all, so that'll be our best indication of what to go by. We're going to go ahead and pull that lid off and check what our amperage is. Running. Here, I'll go ahead and set it to amps AC. Right there. Just going to clamp one wire. And here's the red run wire, 12.9. And I'd really like to get the black common wire. And we can also check the fan, black fan wire. 0.5, so we're fine there. And here's the common wire right here. We'll reset it here. 13.2, so it's a little bit high. I like to see it about 12.5, but it's still alive. Not enough, I think, to replace the unit yet, but definitely something to monitor. Okay, so now we'll see where we're at. We've actually swung the other way a little bit. 27 Superheat. Gonna turn off my can of refrigerant. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, we're good. And it'll take a little while for it to properly adjust, but I think that's good there. The line is nice and cold. Everything's doing what it's supposed to do. Good to go. Okay, starting to feel the heat pretty strong, so time to get off this roof. It just reaches a point where it's going to start getting heat stroke. You don't want that. Okay. Anyway, we're all set there. Unit's charged up like it should be. Good to go. Just put all my gear away. Capped these all off with some new caps. Made sure my O-rings were in there. We've got our Superheat in decent parameters. We're good to go. Anyway, be safe out there. It's a blazer. You can see how hot it is. It's crazy. Time for me to get out of here. Get off this roof. Alright. So hot out there. Oh my gosh. So gross. It is what it is. Survive it. Oh my gosh. Just barely. Anyway, AC good to go. Whew.